hottest station is now live for your enjoyment with host iamBranded.
What's up, my good people? This is Charles. I am branded Madison of Nexxlegacy Radio, and I have this beautiful guest here to talk music and more. So before we give her a hello, let me just tell you, I was surfing. I was up late surfing through online. So usually I got my own account on Reverb Nation. So, this woman's from my town, my area in the Bay, right? So I was like, oh, okay, she got video, she got music. Let me listen to what she has going on, right? So immediately blown away, just presence, beauty, voice, everything that is everything. So I was like, let me do some digging, some research. Let me try to find her social media, all that good stuff. So I became intrigued with this woman because I just feel like, spirits don't lie. Like, I promise y'all. Like, and when I tell y'all, if y'all were listening to this, go reach out to her, hear her music, support her brand. This woman has it all. And you can follow her on social media. Hit her up on Instagram at Rashell's Music on IG. And you're an artist, a traveler, content creator, podcast, photographer. I mean, this woman has like 500 jobs. So Rachell's on Nexxlegacy Radio. What's up, dear?
Hey, what's going on? Thank you for having me.
I appreciate you tapping in and adding yourself to the legacy. So as I start to ask you Q&A stuff or whatever, I want to start from the beginning. Like, I kind of want to know your origin story. How did you get started singing, and what was one song or something that inspired you to be like, oh, yo, I have talent. This is my next level.
Okay, so I come from a very musically inclined family. I think almost everybody can either sing or play an instrument.
Mm-hmm.
And I wasn't inclined to sing until, I was a little girl. My dad was in the service, and we were stationed in Hawaii. He brought me on stage, and they gave me a microphone. And that was a wrap. I was like, I like this. This is cool. I love this. And I started developing and exploring what my voice could do, and at which point my family then discovered what my voice was able to do even at a young age. So, 7 and 8, I was singing along backup with bands, So,
wow.
Yeah, it's been a journey. It's been a beautiful journey. I've learned a lot of things over my skill and time with music and different various artists and genres of all types. So, that's kind of like the backstory of where Rachell began. There is a particular artist that did just really rang out to me when I was there. This couple, actually. One is Denise Williams. I just loved her angelic voice. I just loved her control, and I was like, gosh, she just sings like an angel. I just need to learn how to do that. And lo and behold, I favored her music for most of my middle school, high school years, did a lot of talent shows and stuff, covering her tunes, and then discovered Tina Marie. And people were like, wow, you sound a lot like her. So there was that discovery, followed by Mariah Carey. And those were some of the biggest artists that were influential in my life. I love a lot of artists. I love a lot of different kinds of music styles. I'm more of an energy person. So if it feels good, I'm with it.
Right.
And, so as far as like having history with those particular 3 artists, but Denise, I think it was Silly that I had heard first, and I loved that.
Nice. I think sometimes when, correct me if I'm wrong, well, I'm just going to say this just because, like I said, I did a lot of digging as far as checking your music out and just specific styles. Interesting that you mentioned Niecy. Shout out to Denise Williams, Mariah, Tina Marie, because Rachell, you have such a gentle sound, but also powerful at the same time. Like, I think a lot of how you carry the vibe of your songs is resonated into, like, maybe the person that you are. Does that make sense a little bit, or because I kind of get
Absolutely.
that into
Absolutely.
just how you are and what you vibrate to. Like, I just really feel that.
Yes, thank you. And thank you for noticing that. Yeah, that's kind of how I built my whole persona as an artist, is just to be genuine and authentic, and carry myself amongst the music and the flow of it, and not necessarily allow myself to stray from what is authentic to me.
Mm-hmm. How has the journey been for you since, you said 7 or 8, since you've kind of, you've done backup and this was in you since you were little? Like, how has the journey have been so far? What have been the, some challenges that you faced and some of the successes that you feel like you've had so far?
That's a really good question. How to summarize that is very challenging.
No doubt.
I would say that the challenge is keeping yourself focused and like I said, learning how to hone into your authenticity as an artist, and not letting yourself fall into influences of different fads or popularity.
Right.
And I think the benefit of learning that skill is what separates people that really truly have the motivation and endeavor to love the music they make versus people who are just making music. And there is a difference.
Yep.
So I've learned that along my journey, and that was something that I humbly appreciate, because without that lesson, and I want to say, when I got that lesson, it was a very hard lesson to accept, but I accepted it humbly, like, okay, this is what I love, and I'm not doing this for a check necessarily, but just to put it out there, just so I can feel connected, because I feel music connects us. You don't got to speak a certain language to understand that music moves your soul. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, and that was another thing that really reeled me into music as a small child, and has always kept me. Just, it's like my therapy. So, and with that therapy came those challenges, those life lessons that incorporated into the music. And, some of them are really deep challenges. And as an artist, where you find your therapy is pouring that pain into that music, or pouring that part of you, or that part of your life that you embrace into that melody, or into that harmony, or into those lyrics. And you hope that people feel it and people resonate with it in some fashion, because that's part of the connection of music.
You're right. Music is a journey. It's one where I feel like it will make you laugh, it will make you cry, it will make you think, it will make you feel inspired, or it will rile you up in some way, some shape. And sometimes, and not just your music, but a lot of artists in general, you listen to a song or whatever, and I listen to You Got to Me, and chills. And to me, it's just like outer body experience, but it's just deeper when it's inside your soul, where you feel a certain vocal strain, or a words of an artist. The same thing when you start feeling certain things about paintings, and you look at the art that's put out there for some people, and I think that's, to me, the essence of it all starts there. Like, if you do what you do, like, and you're doing it with all that love and passion and compassion, it literally is going to resonate into, like, who you are and what you do as a person. So my question to you is, because, I know it takes a lot of effort. It takes a lot of work to put out a 3-minute song. So describe just some of your battle traits in terms of getting in, your writing. Is it more emotional for the stuff that you write, or you kind of catch on to, like, whatever the vibe is, and you just kind of start writing so you can't stop?
That's a great question. And for You Got to Me especially, that was just, I really resonated with that beat. I picked up the harmonies, the fluid, and I knew I knew that was a love song before I even got like 3 seconds into the song. I was like, this is a love song. I want this one.
Wow.
Like my heart says, let's do this. And I was able to put together, everything on the song, get it produced and get it down there, get it recorded and get it, all prettied up. I would say within just a couple of weeks, like it happened really fast for that song. However, there are other songs that it's deep. It's heart-wrenching to have to think about, what comes out in that song. Like Dry Your Eyes is about domestic violence. And that was a song that was a part of my life that I shared, hoping that it inspired other women to speak up, be strong, be empowered, be motivated, self-love. And that song took me a little bit longer. I wrote that in sections. And I think, to be very honest, it was very hard for me to get the lyrics to work with the sound I heard in my head, because it wasn't coming out on the microphone the way I had intended.
Right.
But that was just because there was so much emotion in some of those key words and some of those harmonies that, it's just live and learn as you go kind of a thing. And once I poured it out, I was so ecstatic. So, like you said, everything. Sorry.
No, good. You're good.
Okay. Everything that an artist does is based on emotion. And if it is real emotion put into the song, it reflects. You don't have to talk about it. You feel it.
Can I ask you this? Because I just feel like what you just said is important for not just artists and musicians, but people, like as people that's trying to learn and comprehend other people. Like, sometimes, it's hard to love yourself. So if you have a craft that you love to do, but you're trying to figure out how to get it out to the people, you're giving pieces of yourself to people every time that you are either in a booth or you put a song out for people to consume or whatever. But, talk to me a little bit about not just what you've experienced, but just in life, your thoughts on just self-love and how important it is to be able to not just love yourself, but do it on a high level where people can literally just be their best self. Like, you want to be an artist, and not just want to be, you are an artist. And there's other people that's aspiring to be in that position that you're in right now, where you can literally have music, make music, put it out there to the people. But self-love is important as far as having that confidence to do it, right?
Correct, yeah. And I think that the best advice I can give on that is that in order for you to really love what you do, you have to have the love within. I call it the light within. So you got to nurture your own light before you could start sharing your light with everyone else. And when you master to do that, or you perfected that, and that's different based on everybody, because we're all unique in our own paths. We all got our own life paths, and I believe that we're all here with a unique purpose in some fashion. So I think that retrospect of what you have and how you carry yourself, it makes a difference on how you see yourself. Not necessarily. And I think a lot of people, how do I say, they look for validation external instead of internal.
Amen to that.
And so that's what, I call that light dimming, because why are you letting someone else validate what you feel? You should be loving yourself at the utmost highest vibration. And that in itself, when you are doing that at your best, being your very best person, being the kindest person you can be, thinking the most positively of every situation, and taking even the worst situations as a blessing in disguise, that makes you vibrate higher, and that makes your light brighter. And you're going to naturally attract like-minded people. You're going to naturally attract and find that you're more passionate about things that maybe you overlooked before. And I think that contributes to what, a lot of people overlook for self-love. And, it just starts within.
Rachel's my guest on Nexxlegacy Radio, and you nailed it. I always believe in this. Like, before you really, when you come to that conclusion that you want to try to consistently love yourself and your art and whatever it is that you want to do, and do it to the best of your ability, it's not kind of, you have to surrender. And sometimes you have to practice that every day. You have to practice it every day. You're not perfect at it. You may stumble on a day where a day is, damn, it's not my day today. I'm really tripping and falling over whatever it is that you're going through. But practicing surrender can set you up for success if you, one, know what it is, and two, put that into action so you can be able to let that radiate. And like you said, which is important, you know, like-minded people will be attracted to that same type of energy, right? So it's very important for you to do that, because if you can't do that, it's going to be hard for you to do music or whatever it is that you want to do at the end of the day.
Exactly. And that is so true. And I think that anyone that's aspiring to do, you know, their craft, I'll just give it a wider spectrum, their craft, it all starts with having the confidence, and the confidence comes from the self-love. So it's all like a growth within. And, you know, those pieces are fundamental for you to see that growth and to see that expansion and to see things evolve the way that you had hoped they evolve. And you're right, there's going to be days where you fall down. There's going to be days where you just deal with, you know, with jerks and assholes, and they're going to try to interrupt your flow. But you gotta have the upper strength to be like, no, I'm not giving into that energy. I'm not giving into this. I'm not letting you control or dictate how I feel today. And that's also part of acceptance, like you said. So not necessarily backing out of a situation. You're still holding yourself and valuing yourself and your craft, but you're, you know, basically you're not taking no shit, but you're not giving away what you've worked hard to establish. You know what I mean?
That is important. You can't let, like, those different things. I mean, it's already hard enough being you. Like, now I got to put layers onto being me. No, it's easy to just free yourself with, and you know, it all comes with full transparency and accountability, and all the things that we say sounds great, but if you don't put the action every day, you are deemed to fail if you don't recognize that shit at the end of the day. So I love you for saying that. Rachell is my guest on Nexxlegacy Radio, and how is the music marketing journey for yourself been, in terms of, like, you have music out there? I know I mentioned Reverb Nation earlier. People can check your music out on Instagram. Like, how is your flow going? And I ask that question is because, to me, everyone has a different, like, way of marketing themselves. Some people lean super heavy on social media, or, you know, they actually have an actual plan in terms of getting it out. So how has your journey thus far been when it comes to you marketing you?
I will say, the answer to that question is going to be in parts. When I first started marketing, I was adamant about learning business structure, how the marketing works as far as music industry, because every industry is a different setup. Right. And I would say that Indie Bible was very helpful.
No doubt.
It was very helpful. There's some good key knowledge in there. But since the world has changed its strategy of how we're releasing music, and everything has gone from physical to more digital, and to our C codes and etc., so the marketing has changed. And so social media can be used, but I think AI is now taking over a lot of how we present that. So if you're not, you know, I would say investing in your craft's market scheme, or not scheme, but plan, then you're probably not going to push those numbers where you want to see them. But for me personally, I put in, I would like to say that I put in and invest what I think is fair for that album or that record. But I do a lot of my networking in person still. So I'm kind of old school. I really show up to events like, hey, this is my album, you know, this is what I got going on, you know, let's network, you know, blah, blah, blah. So in that fashion, I don't really do a whole lot of online push as I should. But I still acknowledge it and I still utilize it. It's still a great tool. I just personally haven't been utilizing it, probably to the level that I should be utilizing it. But it's available, and I highly recommend it for people who are looking to get, to see the number results. For me, I just love making the music.
Hey, Rachell, at the end of the day, it got you to me, so you are doing something right social media-wise.
Well, thank you. Appreciate that.
But nah, you're totally right, because to me, social media is just like money. It's a tool. It's a tool that you use to be able to justify means to whatever it is that you have going on. It's not to be embedded in that matrix where you just stay there and live there, and you can't really venture out into the outside world and deal with real people and network and things like that. It is a tool. Right. I built a ton of relationships that morphed into like personal relationships based on like our internet actions and things like that. But there's a fine line between it all. So I 100% when you say that I would rather be out there shaking hands with people versus being stuck on a phone or on a laptop or on a tablet, et cetera, et cetera. But it's a handy tool. I think people can use it, but, get out once in a while and say hello to real people. I'm just saying.
Right. Let them know you're not AI,
Exactly. Exactly. And you're right. Like, you're damn right, because now it's just AI, like you said, is taking over. You can create a whole song with an AI, and it's just like, bam, there you go. We've seen it. It's there.
It was crazy.
Crazy, right? Like, crazy. Rachell, if I was to put you something, I'll send you something, you'd be like, no way that's AI. Like, no way. But it is. But see, here's the difference between AI music and the music that you do, real music, right? So AI will give you something that is hollow. Maybe it might sound cool, or it has a cool beat, or it has a cool sound, or whatever, but your authenticity that your tracks portray and put out cannot be duplicated. Meaning, like, AI can't go on a concert. They can't go do one.
Right.
Coachella, like that Tupac hologram or whatever, you can only do that like one time. Like, you can't do that no more after that. Everything else sounds weird, looks weird. You know what I'm saying? But you can physically go out there and do a set, but then your second set is going to sound better than your first set because you can be able to do that as well. So, AI can't do that shit, though. Just saying.
Right. Yep, that's one thing AI does not have. They can't put emotion into it, which means there's no soul to that.
Exactly right. Exactly right. So as you're navigating through social media and different things like that, Rachel's my guest on Nexxlegacy Radio. What about like structured like song singles? I know you got like videos out there right now on YouTube. I've seen your videos. Great. You look great. Your sound is great. Everything. So what is on deck for you in terms of like, singles to be released? Is it just going to be through, how's that going to work for you in terms of what you got cooking?
Okay. Wow. That's great timing because I literally just set up studio session for next week.
Hey, that's my girl. There you go.
So I have had many of my very, very loving fans ask me to do a tribute song of Tina Marie. So I picked my favorite two. Okay. And I will be doing that like a little, cover EP set in addition to having a new album coming out after a long time. So I'm coming out of my hiatus and I'm going to be putting out some new music. So I'm very excited about that. Hopefully that comes with a full set of visualization videos with it. So that's what I'm hoping for. But life happens. So we put it in motion. We just put it into the universe and we just hope it plays out the way we hope.
No doubt. And you know what's cool about that, though? Because nobody's not really doing, like, really heavy, like, Tina Marie renditions or anything like that. And to me, I think, Tina is, like, she was one of the, still has a legacy of great music and things like that. And, is it, you don't have to tell me. You can plead the fifth, but is one of them songs Portuguese Love or no?
I'm going to have to take the fifth.
Oh, no.
I don't know. It could be a both. Could be in English and Espanol.
So, listen, if I'm going to get any updates, I'm going to have to take my ass on to Rashell's music on IG or any alerts or announcement that come your way so I can be able to get something. I see how you playing this, Rachell. I got you. Respect. Respect. That's what's up. But
Thank you.
I love the fact that you're cooking with something new. That I just feel like a lot of people that's gonna listen to, some of your older tracks is gonna get to know you, and they're gonna become fans like I did when it comes to the work that you put in so far and stuff like that too. So, is there it's probably a cliche question, but is there anybody out in this stratosphere, let's just say alive or not, that you would or would have loved to do collaborations with?
Oh, man. I'm going to tell you, I am a big fan of Daniel Caesar. Oh, I just love his tone. I love his work.
Okay.
I would like to collaborate with him one day, and the other one would be Stokely. And you did an interview with him. So I was super okay.
I did an interview with Stokely. Stokes the man. He's a good guy.
Yeah, he's very cool. I love his demeanor. I love his art. I love his vocal. He's genius in it, with lyrics and layers of vocals, and he's wonderful. But yeah, those would be the two that I would be like, okay, let's hop in the studio right now.
If somebody says, you know what, we got this opportunity where you could be here to collab with this person, you'll be like, I am on the way. No question.
I'm on a flight. About to get the flight.
What about any music instruments? Anything do you play, or your voice is your instrument and that's good enough?
Well, to be honest, I've been learning a couple of instruments. I'm going to surprise y'all because I've been working hard on it. But my hope is that when I get this tribute EP out, that I can actually show you what I'm playing too, because she was a very talented musician as well. So, as well as having a power vocal house.
I'm going to have to text you what I think in regards to what instrument I think you're going to rock out, but
okay, you're going to guess it?
I'm
I can dig it.
Just because, and if I say it, and if I'm wrong, just tell me I'm wrong, but I'm feeling something right now. I'm going to send you a text later and be like, hey, is it this instrument? And just either you can confirm or deny, but I'm feeling a certain instrument right now, and I'm going to let you know out. Hey, I'm going to put that out.
That's fair. I can do that.
Rashell's my guest on Nexxlegacy Radio, and we talked about social media. We talked about just in general in terms of like the plan as an artist or for an artist and things like that. So clearly when it comes to the stuff that you do and how long you've done it, you could safely say this is my chosen gift, and I'm here to maximize this to its full potential. So with that being said, is there more that you want to do in general in terms of not just music, maybe go on tour, maybe do something? Like, what are other things that you want to enhance in terms of your music capabilities?
Okay. I would like to kind of start showcasing. I have a podcast. It's Laughing at Your Life, and we do karaoke on there.
Oh.
So, yes. And so with that, I would like to start doing, I was thinking, maybe during the summer times or something, we can do a tour and just showcase other people's gifts and talents, kind of open door for people. But that is something that I have talked about with the producers of the show and my co-host. And so we're in works of something like that. But I would like to be able to, I know how hard it is to let alone find a place to perform nowadays that's, a welcoming environment, on top of getting that little boost of publicity, and like you're doing for me. I appreciate you. But I would just like to see artists, really go back to, because after COVID, we kind of, we went digital with everything. So it's nice to kind of open that door back up, like, hey, let's get outside. Let me see what you do with this microphone.
It's still crazy to know that COVID was in 2020, and here we are 5 years later, and we're still dealing with the effects of 2020. Like, I mean, when you say go outside, that legit feels right to say, because we do have to get back out there and do more, because we went into hibernation and in some cases never woke back up. So you're 100% right.
Yes, thank you. And I do know some artists that, just resigned, just dead ass resigned. And I was like, okay, all right. Well, that's your choice. No, I respect it, but you're talented. I'm just putting it out there. Hey, people love to hear good music.
yeah, for real. And you know what's funny about that? Sometimes, and I'm not saying this because for it to be true, but sometimes it might just take one person to help you unlock a door, so you can be able to look at, like, ooh, I could see 10 years down the line from now, or I could see what's necessary in order for me to, be more at the end of the day. Like, sometimes it might take a situation or a scenario or a person to be able to help you unlock that. And to me, I think that's what we missed during COVID, because everybody was literally every man, woman, or child for themselves, and we lost touch with certain things, just like the music business right now, in my opinion, where, granted, there's a lot of talented people out there, but to me, I always believed in helping the next person. Like, somebody set it up for somebody else so somebody could blow up too and do more. Like, don't handcuff your abilities to give back. Give to people as well. And sometimes music plays a hot role into that in changing the course of people's lives in a lot of ways, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree with that. And that's, that's how I see it is, there's enough for everybody to shine.
Exactly.
We just got to all build our confidence back up there and get out there and do it.
Yeah. And be unafraid of the challenges that's going to be faced when it comes to that. So with that being said, a couple more questions with Rachell, as our guest on Nexxlegacy Radio. With that, you know what? There's still kids out there who is maybe want to dabble in instruments or whatever like you do, or want to have that confidence to literally, I want to sing too. So as much as we have in terms of, like, you know what, you can easily go do it here or there or elsewhere, some people are still unlocked when it comes to that. So what can you say to some of these people out there who are literally facing a challenge with themselves so they can be able to unlock that door, as we talked about today?
Okay. I would say, gosh, that's hard to put into words. I mean, I could tell someone energetically, I could feel them out face to face, but on the phone, it's hard to say that. I would say to someone, don't hold back what the world needs to hear. Because you don't know what your gift is or how it's going to touch the next person. So don't hold that from someone else. Gift the world.
Listen, you nailed it. For someone who says that they didn't know what to articulately put down, you did great. So
thank you.
Like, come on, girl. You need to pop your own collar to the game that you give. And it's free game to the world. So there you have it. According to Rashell.
Oh, no, I'm going to bill y'all after this. I'm just kidding.
For real. And finally, before we give any social media shouts out and everything else too, so I got a question. When it comes to, this is just you and I having a longer, extensive conversation than we've had before. So I want to know, what is your best music decade ever?
Oh, I'm going to say 2000s. So 2014, 15, 16, I was everywhere.
Okay.
Yeah, and I feel like, I had a life event that kind of rerouted me because, grievance does that, and there's no time on that. Mm-hmm. So my reroute situation kind of pulled me back, and I was moving real fast, and I'm going to say, like, I was making an imprint everywhere I went, whether that be with just helping someone out the kindness of my heart, or whether that be a performance that someone hugged me because it touched them. Right. That was my era. Those were my years.
So 2000s is your year. So you can bundle up that entire 10-year decade and just be like the 2000s was it. Basically, the 2010 is okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, but you're a Tina Marie fan, so I know you want to give plugs and shout outs to the 80s and 90s or whatnot in terms of decades of, like, artists and things like that. So I'm gonna ask you this for multi-decade question. If you could pull, now I'm gonna go into fashion. If you can pull anything out from any decade and rock it in 2025 right now, what would you wear, or what would be?
Gosh.
For you.
We're going to the 1970s, y'all.
All right. Take us back to the 70s, baby. What you got?
We're doing bell bottoms. We're doing wild hair. We're doing glitter. We're not caring how we dance on the floor. We just moving. We pulling out our skates.
Wasn't there some freedom that came with just, I don't care how, as long as the music made me move a certain way, damn it, I'ma move. And nobody can stop me. That's
exactly
how it was, like, for real.
Yeah. And it was good music, and there was no auto-tunes, and there was live bands, and there was people just happy. They were just happy. The music was happy. The time was just a good time, It was a good time to be in, I think, in music. If I was back in that era, I sure would have been having a good old time.
And y'all heard it first. Rachell is going to break out the bell bottoms, those little jacket or butterfly jacket or sweater joints, the shirts, the this, the that. Like, we're going to have a 70s party soon, according to Rachell. I'm just saying. Like, we're going to have a like,
oh, hell yeah. I'm bringing my pink skates. Don't play.
Come on, baby. Do it. The pink and white, the pink and white joints with the pink wheels or whatever. Like,
yeah, they had the sparkle. They had the glitter wheels. Come on.
Do that. It's all good. Hey, Chloe, go ahead and give some shout-outs, like all your social media platforms, shout-out whatever and whoever you want to do. The platform's yours, honey.
All right. Well, first of all, first, I'd like to thank you for having me on the show. So I appreciate you taking the time, and thanks for reaching out and being so supportive. And secondly, I'd like to shout out to one of my producers and co-hosts, which is At Your Boy Podcast. And, of course, my co-host, Shauna, Ms. Shauna J, with Laughing at Your Life. And then all the fans, anyone who's supporting this radio show, all the artists that have been featured on this show. And you guys can follow me on social media. It's at Rashell's Music. If you Google Rashell's Music, pretty much everything of mine comes up. And you can follow me on TikTok. I'm on, I think it's X now. It used to be Twitter.
Yeah.
Yeah, and TikTok. I do my little skits on TikTok and goof off and stuff. Y'all can get to know my character a little bit better. So, yeah, you guys connect with me. I talk back. I don't just be leaving people hanging. So, yeah.
Hey, she's not just a character. She's a whole vibe, y'all. So when you absorb all things that is Rachell, it's going to probably keep you where you need to be, which is right there in a nice little space and just living your best life and enjoying it. So that's what I'm taking from just what I'm getting from it. So I not just want to thank you. I mean, your music is on rotation on the station because it runs 24/7, 365. This is how we run. But from a marketing and radio standpoint, anything that you want to drop, anything that you want to do, be it if it's audio or video, it's right here. Like, you have a home here. So utilize it to the best of your ability. I am here. I'm not going anywhere now. You're stuck with me. This is just how we're going to roll. Forward thinking, because I believe in you and your craft, and I believe there is more to see when it comes to you in general, not just as an artist, but also as a person. And I'm so proud of you for how you're building, and watching it grow. So to me, that's just the hottest thing that anybody could do moving forward. So the best thing I could do for you is just to, be a vessel and pay it forward to you.
I appreciate you. I appreciate you so much. Thank you. All love.
I appreciate you more. This Nexxlegacy, we honor the legacy of not just past artists, but current artists that's doing bigger than life things, and that's you. So I appreciate you. Continue to keep rolling with new stuff. Anytime that you want to come on, if you want to do a video interview next, in addition to an audio, let's go. I believe in you, Rachell. So, like I said, you stuck with me, girl. Let's go. Let's go.
I hear you loud and clear, and I will be utilizing the vessel, best belief.
That's
Thank you for listening to the #1 radio station for the people.
Nexxlegacy Radio.